That time again, everyone. It is Moonashe, Savannah, and yours truly, Shawn Clement here. Wisdom in Golf, Golf WRX.
Golf's perfect imperfections. Hello, everybody.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching.
Man, are we getting busy over here?
Oh, man.
It is busy. Oh, my gosh, you guys. Where do we start? Well, let's start. Let's do a little round table here. So over here we have Moonashe, who just launched his website this week. Congratulations!
Thank you. Yeah.
And Sav, what a work of art you created.
Anything for him.
She won't do it for anybody else. Okay, so don't ask her. I'm next on the list, and so Moo. And we just started. I referred a few customers over to you.
Yeah.
And what I love about our ham and egg situation, right? We make a nice ham and egg team, buddy.
Yeah.
It is very much exactly the same technique, except it's instilled in a different way.
Yeah.
And what we've learned is, if you look at when Bryson DeChambeau made the commitment to get longer. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, he ate a bunch, but his technique changed dramatically.
Yeah, he evolved a lot.
Didn't he?
Yeah.
And so we have, you've seen it throughout our videos. I mean, apart from his grip, right?
Yeah.
And, he had a hamate surgery. He broke a bone in his wrist, and I'm not saying that was because of his grip. He did a lot of reps, and he's done a lot of repetitions on that. So I'm not going to get into that. But apart from his grip being should be stronger, in our opinion, the rest is all wisdom in golf. I mean, you put him side by side with Jack Nicklaus or Arnold Palmer or Bubba Watson, it's the same backswing. Also, Kyle.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So I mean, and Martin Borgmeyer. I mean, it's all along the same lineage, and now yours. Mm-hmm. And we look at in the video that we just posted this week. Yeah. You look at the thumbnail, and I'll put you up against Cameron Young all day long.
Right.
How good that looks. I mean, it looks good, dude.
I was just saying that your swing is my favorite swing.
Right? Yeah, and we're not trying to be biased or anything. I mean, it's just it's poetry in motion.
Right.
So now you have a service where you can do one-on-ones for speed training.
Yeah, and that's what surprised me, because at first it was just mostly strength and conditioning was the main focus, but then I had the speed training option there, and as an option if you were looking to gain more speed, which I've had the opportunity to work with Sav, and she's seeing the benefits of the training. That
Number 7 in the world, baby.
Yeah.
And climbing.
Yeah, and then a lot of people are taking on to the technique, and people are starting to utilize their body in a different way, and it's within the wisdom and golf technique, and it's kind of just turbocharging the action in a way that they can optimize their their swing and their enjoyment of the game.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. King Moo Turbo. Let's go. Right.
It's been cool to see, like, even one of your clients, he's always posting on his Instagram and tagging you, and just like he's so happy with his results.
Oh yeah, Bryce was Bryce is one of the first clients I've had.
He's a premier player.
He's a premier player, and he's unlocking a side of his swing that he was not kind of like holding back or not realizing that he had.
And that's the perfect choice of words.
Yeah.
It's so easy to hold back because you're trying to be careful. You're trying to watch out. And then the more you open up, the more the swing emerges.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened to Bryson DeChambeau.
Yeah. And
it's just a matter of time now before he's able to channel that in his tour playing.
Right. And Bryce is seeing the benefits, and he sends me a few videos on the course, and he's just crushing it on the fairways. And he's very
he's a very accurate driver of the ball.
Oh man, his spray pattern is amazing to watch when I do the speed sessions with him, because he's dialed in with the driver very well. Just finding his engagement of the legs, working on release has been something we've been working on, and he's realizing how powerful that is when you let go of the club into the target.
And that's what we're all realizing, and we all have personal experience in that.
Yeah.
I remember my first experience in that, where I was hitting 7-irons. I was at Richmond Hill, my younger days, and I was hitting 7-iron. There was no wind, and I found a pocket. And while I was doing the video, and I tend to get a little bit more juiced up when I'm doing a video, when I'm demonstrating the swing, and I'm peppering the flag. There's a flag on our range in Richmond Hill that's at 207 before you get to the fence. And I peppered like 10 shots in a row over that flag with a 7-iron.
Yeah.
And somebody comments in the video saying, "Hey, Shawn, your head's bobbing up and down. Wouldn't your head being more stable give you more distance?" And I'm going, well, I'm hitting 7-iron, the best I've ever hit ever. And I found this amazing pocket. I can't hit it any further than that. Why would I? It'd be nuts. So what is it about this head going up and down? I took it a different way. Instead of going, oh my God, my head's bobbing up and down, right? And go bananas. I went, well, what is it about this up and down that's so special that's given me this? And then I see Riley on a skateboard knocking down the backside of a jump and pumping the backside and getting more speed to go into the next jump. I'm going, whoa. And then I see him on a swing and pumping the swing, and I'm going, well, I did that as a kid. And then you realize that, man, this is what we do as human beings. This is what we're supposed to do. Right? And we've had it so wrong for so long, is like not even funny. So now we open up that machine and everything is like, wow. So that was the beginning of it, right?
To add on that, I've had a session with Samir, and he found that he discovered that as well too with his action when we're doing the speed session. Went
from 120-yard 8-irons to 140-yard 8-irons. And so this is something I wanted Savannah to get for the longest time, but she was already long enough, and she was already longer than her friends in high school and all that. So it wasn't, I didn't push it. And then we started swinging with the
swing caddy.
The swing caddy. And she got up, she got mad. She says, I want that 110. Right? That little competitive spirit. And then flick, 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 clack. And then her legs started defrosting. And that's what, there we go. So there's validation for us.
That's right.
And then with you and your training.
It's pushed it even further.
And then we started throwing the club, and we realized you're getting steery with the throw, and then we turbocharged the throw, and that turbocharging of the lead hand and trail hand release videos was all new. And then you realized it for yourself, and you started experiencing that, and then it just snowballed into what you see today.
That's right.
So these two have firsthand experience of what this is all about, and they know how to teach it like the back of her hands. And here we go. Moo's got speed training. And you're actually going straight into that, and we're realizing that. And in the last, it's all coming around again for me. The latest series that we have on our premium channel is all about the lasso.
Right.
And to time a lasso with your legs is all about keying in on the snap.
Right.
So this lead hand and trail hand release that you use every time you start a speed session, without fail, the two of you are doing that with the swing caddy, with an alignment rod, and you do it with different weights.
That's it.
And so you've nailed this, and now it's like, okay, I'll show you the technique. I'll get you to where you need to be, and then you're going to go see Moo for turbocharging the sucker,
right,
and removing more shackles.
That's it.
And breaking free. It's like, when Forrest Gump is running and he's got those, those braces on his legs, and run, Forrest, and then poof, those braces are exploding off of his legs, and then you see his eyes, right? That's it. That's what we do. So
I've had a lot of fun experience like that with students that start a speed session, like Brody, for example. He started using his legs, and he's just like, his eyes open up real wide. It's like, man, it's like all in the legs, all in the release. It's like it's starting to connect in his mind as well too. It's like
more turbo down in Austin, Texas.
That's it. Yeah, I'm excited to work with him because he's such a big athlete. And,
Yes.
And he's just he's 27, and his numbers were shocking when he told me. I'm like, there's no way you're producing this, and I was like, man, you should be producing way more and get more distance out of your action, and that's where I feel like he's gonna blow things away. I'm excited for him.
And that's I'm actually hitting that with his dad right now,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And so we're removing a lot of the manipulations,
right?
And the feel of that snap, everything is in that, So, that baseball snap, or when you're throwing a club and you don't let go, there's the weight of the club, snaps that trail hand over the lead hand, and that happens towards the target. So when you have an emphatic catch up of the club to the hands, and the brain just locks in on that,
right?
And then once the brain locks in on that, it's over. And then the legs start kicking in, and you go, I can let that go. I can let that happen. And then the legs start, the eyes start getting big, and then they start to, hey, it fits.
Yeah.
And then the brain makes those connections, and it's over.
Yeah.
It's like they're on their way.
Yeah. I just want to
So
reassure
satisfying.
people. I want to reassure people that the speed sessions don't compromise your swing at all. They don't affect how you normally swing anyway.
They only enhance. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why it's like, I see you what you're doing with Sav right now.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm in here, I'm doing my thing, I'm answering my emails, and Sav is going about her thing, and okay, 114 club speed. Whoa, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Right? And then it kind of goes to 107, and Moose says something, and I'm going, yeah, that's exactly what I would have said, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going, man, these two are on their way. Self-sufficient.
Yeah, that's it. That's where we're
and
at
that's what we're dying for you to achieve for you.
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
We don't want you to come back all the time.
Yeah.
You're going to go out and do your thing, and then you're going to send your friends. That's the way it works.
Yeah.
That's how we're going to change this game.
Yeah.
And so apart from the people who go, well, I can't share you yet. I got to make my money back first. And then I'll share you later, right? When I have a little bit of a head start. Okay.
Not yet.
We understand that. We get that.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on. And then moving over to Sav.
Yeah, I guess it kind of leads into my video that I posted. So I posted a video on YouTube last week on Wednesday, and it got a lot of really cool feedback. It was all about the secret to gaining distance and more club head speed for like the women's side of golf.
Right. And what was the percentage of men that watched it compared to women?
98%. Like, where are the ladies?
What's the name of your YouTube channel, Sav?
Golf with SMC.
Golf with SMC.
Yeah.
It's for...
You can just search up my
for the
name.
ladies.
Yeah.
And so all of your girlfriends and wives and sisters and friends, send them over to Savannah's channel. We need to up the women's content, the women's participation.
Yeah, because I'm going to do like some instructional stuff, but then I also have a really big passion for like the fashion side of golf and like the beauty side of golf, all that kind of stuff. So it's more tailored towards the women, but obviously the men can still watch the instructional stuff. But I just don't think the fashion stuff's going to interest you very much. But aside from that,
well, I mean, if you want to buy something nice for your wife or your girlfriend, that's so you can't
come to my channel.
You can't tell the boys not to come because they're going to learn a lot.
Yeah.
Right?
So come to my channel for some inspiration on what to buy your wife or girlfriend or daughter or mom or whatever.
Yeah. That's how you do it.
But yeah, the whole video was about, this particular video was about how to gain more distance and club head speed, and I kind of touched on the different like numbers.
It was a nice general overview.
Yeah, nice general overview. Nothing like too in-depth detail, but kind of like a brief summary of little things, little tips and tricks. And that'll invite some questions. So we encourage you to ask some questions on our channel. Yeah,
and
I kind of go over. Tracers and flight scopes and all the launch monitors are like a big thing now, and it's one thing to see the numbers, but another thing to understand what they mean and how to optimize them properly. And I think that's something that I've been able to do really well with my journey, is being able to optimize my numbers to like their full potential to get the most distance out of it. And I think that's where a lot of people,
they're having a hard time understanding it.
Yes, a lot of guys in particular. I'm sorry, but I'm going to call you out.
It's like you're blowing some brain cells. They go,
yeah,
they're like, you can't hit it that far with that club.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of doubt.
Yeah,
but you know, the fact that I've been able to prove my numbers time and time again in long drive competitions.
Just go see her in a long drive competition. You go, oh, now I get it.
Yeah, so like, I mean, my yardages are all officially recorded by hand in the long drive circuit. So like
327.
Like the arguments, it's so interesting, especially with the last video that I posted. A couple of guys just absolutely needing to prove me wrong.
Yeah, they blew a fuse and they go, no, it's impossible.
Yeah. And you know, and I understand that like, from an outsider looking in who's not experiencing it for themselves, they're going to have questions. But when I give you the answer to those questions and then you still don't believe it, well, then that's not my problem anymore. But things like, some people think that ball speed is the only factor that matters, which is not the case. Like on one of my swings, for example, I had a miss hit high on the face, so my ball speed was down to 148. But my spin was at 1200. My AOA was at 9 degrees. My launch was
They thought that was your launch angle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sometimes the way.
And launch angle was 18.
Yeah. Launch was 18 degrees. And, you know, when I try to explain that all of these factors combined is what makes the difference, some people start to get it.
I think that, you know, and that's why I think that your channel is going to gain some traction, Sav, because a lot of the women, you know, could you imagine before they feel intimidated when they go, hey, they come to a country club for the first time. Whoa, how does that work? You know, where do I park my car? Who takes my golf bag? You know, all these questions that they need to feel organized when they go somewhere. Yeah. And then now they're entering a tech world.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
And honestly, having a YouTube channel and seeing some of the negative feedback that I get from men, and even on your channel, some of the negative feedback I get from men, not believing that I can actually produce these numbers and max out my efficiency based on all of the numbers together, it really opened my eyes to how awful you can make somebody feel in this game. Yeah. Especially for women. Like, I've never had an experience on the range where some random guy comes up to me and is like, oh, you're doing this wrong, blah, 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 blah. But I've had that.
You're out hitting them all the time.
Yeah. But in the videos, I have had that. And honestly, when people question you and your capabilities, it is so frustrating. And then it creates then like a doubt in yourself.
Yeah.
And so I can really sympathize with the women who feel intimidated coming into this game because of the experiences that I've had in the game. And I have a thick skin, but like if you're a beginner female and you don't know what to expect and you don't know like the ins and outs and just like the culture of it, like
you're already on guard, and then it just takes one person to go, hey, you're doing that wrong. Oh, okay, I'm out of here. Right?
No,
it's
for real though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
how are we supposed to, you know, have them come into the sport when no, you're doing that wrong, you're doing that wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's
like, go away.
It's the way that it's said, right? Like in my video, and I think this is important to talk about so that the ladies know that it's okay to like give your point back. Like in the video, the way one of the guys commented, he was like, great video, like learned a couple of things, but just a small correction at 5 minutes and 22. Your AOA is not between 8 and 12. That's your launch angle. And I'm like, what are you? It's literally written right there.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah.
And you're going to say, oh, a correction? You're correcting me?
Yeah.
No, that's not going to fly.
What?
No, that's not going to fly.
Careful.
Yeah.
But
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just the way that it's said sometimes that rubs us the wrong way.
Yeah, well, that's
And-
social media, and then it's
but you need to be aware of it.
There's going to be a lot of evolving with how we communicate and how we comment on social media, and that's okay, And the fact that you've put yourself out there, Sav, and you're going to be doing this for the gals. Mm-hmm. My hat's off to you.
Listen, girls, if you need somebody in your corner,
yep, Sav.
I'll be there.
That's
Okay,
it. Sav will be there. She'll
I
have
will
your
be
back.
there.
She'll have your back, and I'm in line right behind
Yeah.
her. Okay, so no worries.
Like, I'm a very, very nice person, but I'm gonna have an opinion. Do you know what I mean?
Take it from me, Dad. Trust me.
And, I think that's important as women in general, that you feel confident enough to stand up for yourself.
Yeah. Awesome, Sav.
So
I really enjoy it. I listened, she says, did you see my video, Dad? And we're in the kitchen. I'm going, I haven't had the time yet. Can you put it on? Mm-hmm. And I watched the whole thing, and I enjoyed it. Oh my gosh. She's really blossoming in the way she's presenting herself, and, it's got a nice flow to it. And you actually have some really nice editing tricks in there. Yeah. So you're editing nicely. So I'm really proud of these two, man. I couldn't be prouder. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited for what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah, me too.
Which is, hey, we got we're a long drive coming up.
in what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
It's coming up so fast. I'm
Yeah.
like, this doesn't feel real.
That's
Am
it.
I ready?
Yeah.
So we still have a few things to settle on Moose Gear before the season starts. So your season's going to start officially at Hope Sound.
Yeah, that's right.
And Sav is actually, she wanted to make sure that the women had a full field in the first event in Mesquite.
Mm-hmm.
So
Which I'm glad I did now because they've readjusted the women's schedule.
I know.
They've condensed it to add
Isn't
more.
that nice, right?
Well, they condensed it to increase the purse
Yeah.
on the events that we will have, which I'm fine with.
Yeah.
But imagine if I didn't sign up for the event and I was like, oh no, I'll just start when you start. And
When's the next event after that for you?
so I'll be in Hope Sound too.
Okay.
But then I won't be. They don't have the second Mesquite for the women,
Okay.
which Moo will be at.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we have Connecticut's in there. We
Yeah.
have.
And by the way, we'll be heading back. So for those of you who want to join one of our clinics at the Chris Cody's Performance Center in Portland, Connecticut, we'll be doing the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So we'll be getting there for the Wednesday, and I got 3 days of clinics prior to, and then we're gonna sit back and enjoy the show with these two here. And during the event, they put on a great event there.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna be even busier this year. He's Chris is gonna have to get some bleachers.
I saw on his Instagram they've added a whole another like paved section to their top tracer mats.
Yeah. It's
Nice.
He's doing really good. It's really nice over there.
Right
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he has
Chris Cody's a class act, man.
and he has I also saw on their Instagram they have a portable fitting trailer for Ping
Interesting.
that's associated with his his shop.
His services.
Really?
Yeah, that's
So
nice.
it's like a traveling fitter.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
it's
they
like a
can come-
whole thing.
That's cool. They can just go where you
Yeah.
want them to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had the pleasure of meeting his daughter,
Yep.
Yeah.
who
Oh yeah, we saw them at the PGA show too.
that's it.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep,
You were able to meet her. I went over and I was I had forgotten a few of my Callaway hats, And so I went to a shop, and he had a really nice selection. He's got a beautiful golf shop right there in Portland, Connecticut.
Huge selection of stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah. So, and she was nice enough to give me the PGA rate.
Oh, nice.
You know, a nice little PGA discount on my Callaway hat. So I really appreciate that. And just a darling family. And, you know, that's what a PGA professional is supposed to be. Always a smile on his face.
Yeah.
Hey, Shawn, how's it going? And he's like, they stopped us at the show and, you know, and all excited to talk to us. And hey, we can't wait for you to come back. And,
Those are the kind of people that really make a lasting impression.
Exactly. And it's what it makes life nicer.
Yeah.
To have people like that around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you just know that when you go in their neighborhood, it's like going home.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it's
you
like
don't feel out of
it's
place.
like an extension of home.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so appreciate that, you guys. So we're looking forward to that event, big time.
And the one in California too.
Oceanside.
Oceanside, California.
Yeah.
So if you want, go to the World Long Drive website. Google World Long Drive.
That's right. Yeah.
And look at the schedule. So I'm definitely going to do some clinics in Connecticut and Oceanside, California.
Last one's Atlanta, Georgia.
And we'll definitely be in Atlanta because it's only an hour and a half from Jamie's.
That's right.
So
Yeah,
we're
we'll
going
go
to
see
do a
Jamie.
Wisdom and Golf Summit in Oxford, Alabama,
I'm trying.
at Cider Ridge.
We've tried to convince Jamie to come out to the Hobe Sound event to watch.
Is he?
We're trying to.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
He's coming?
I think he wants to,
Wow. Very cool.
if it fits into his schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's down there a lot. I mean, he won an event
That's right.
down
Yeah.
there. He just won. Way to go, Jamie, buddy.
Jamie's killing it.
Shot a 67 to win a regional PGA not a qualifier, a regional tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So starting off the season, like a
Starting
champ,
out. Yeah. starting out.
like the champion he is.
Yeah.
I actually had the pleasure of coaching his son Jack. We did a putting session yesterday. He was at. They got an amazing gig over there at.
Oxford?
No. Well, just north of there, in Gadsden, Alabama.
Okay.
It's with the Silver Lakes, the Robert Trent Jones Trail. Beautiful facility, and so as a junior player in high school in the area, they have a great junior program there at that facility.
Yeah.
So we had a nice putting lesson there, and at the putting green at the facility, and the rest of the team was there, and he had his headphones on, and he was get some putting tips from me, and he did great. Just the putting stroke looks good, and just a few focus things that needed to be enhanced.
Right.
And we got him into a good routine. So I'm hopeful that in a couple of weeks that'll bear some fruit. And I appreciate Jamie, giving me the confidence nod. And it's just like I love how this community is developing, right?
Yeah.
Because I trust you with my daughter, Moo.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm a freaking perfectionist. I used to be a control freak. Not anymore.
No comment.
I'm getting better. But that's just that. There's the nod. And Jamie is just a fabulous coach. So if you're in anywhere in Alabama or the surrounding, North Florida or West Georgia, well worth the trip. You got to go see Jamie Lett at Cider Ridge. You won't regret it, and you won't stop going back. So what else is going on? Man.
I'm heading into a speed session after this.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So you got to get ready. You got to polish that pearl. And
What are we working on today?
I can't divulge that information.
Oh yeah, this is top secret.
Yeah.
I need the advantage.
Well, just a little,
No.
No.
If you want the secrets, you'll have to get with Moo for coaching.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but you definitely need you gotta have some stuff up your sleeve. That's what real champs do. That's when people say, I won't talk about you yet, Shawn, because I got to keep you up my sleeve for a while.
Yeah.
Make some money back.
Yeah.
Right. So we're enjoying that ride. So later on this week, we're getting some suits.
Yeah, I can't wait.
You know that we have a couple of our students that have already gotten their suits.
Every day, twice a day, sometimes 3 moves like, guess what? I'm excited.
It's it's a electrostimulation.
Yeah, electromuscle stimulation.
Electromuscle stimulation suits, EMS.
EMS, that's right.
This has been in existence
Since the
late 60s.
late 60s, that's
where the Russians started that.
Yeah.
And it's evolved and been perfected. And then there's been all kinds of studios opening up in Europe and Asia in the last decade.
That's right.
And so it started hitting critical mass. Well, you would say for that kind of a niche product.
Yeah.
In the early 2000s, right?
Early, yeah, that's right.
And then so the owner of Catalyst, there we go, with a K.
Yeah.
That's it. So I see the K in front, and I'm thinking about something else.
Yeah.
So Catalyst is the name, and Jeff and the gang have been just phenomenal. We met them at the show, and very, very convincing, especially the studies. When I saw the studies, and Moo saw them first, he says, "Shawn, you got to check out these studies." So I went in there and dug around a little bit, and that's I've been around that kind of paper before, and I couldn't believe it. I'm going 4 weeks, 3 times a week, 20-minute sessions, 14% more fast twitch muscle fiber.
Yeah, and also the different levels that you can engage the muscle from like 400 hertz to 80 hertz. Work your muscle in a certain way, which is sophisticated.
It's very sophisticated the way they program the suit.
Yeah, so it's dialed in. So like as the workout goes on for a long time, or the intensity goes up with the stimulation of the muscle, depending on what you're working, either strength, power, or cardio fitness for recovery. And
you have all kinds of different uses.
That's right. Yeah.
For whatever needs you have.
Yeah.
That's why. I mean, I'm so excited getting on the ground floor on this puppy.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even begin to say. So
yeah, I'm excited to see what combo works best to optimize your performance. So some studies show that doing say box jumps, or for the fast twitch. Let's look at the fast twitch muscles.
Yeah.
So like doing stuff like box jumps with like plyometric stuff, and then applying the suit on and doing a 20-minute or not even like a 30-second intervals.
Right.
With it will increase your fast twitch muscles, as well as body composition. For the week
and I don't have to do Olympic lifting to do that.
No, that's the fun part. It's that like when your brain kind of gets lazy working out, it's like I can push it a little bit, but I'm gonna coast at this level.
Right.
Well, this machine kind of bypass that in your brain. It's like, no, we're gonna engage the muscle to 100% engagement, and then you'll be able to have a muscle that works perfectly fine.
Oh man! So we're gonna do a little baseline.
That's right.
And so stay tuned for our next video is going to be about the baseline, because we're getting our suits this week.
Yeah. So we're gonna.
They're on their way.
Yes.
And I'm going to be madder than a wet hen if they don't come in this week, because we have students already that have their suits before us.
Well, we're in Canada, so
I know they have to go across the border.
Yeah.
And so we start with we'll have our first workouts prior to leaving next week. So I'm bringing my suit down to Dominican Republic with me. That's for sure.
Right.
And so I'm not gonna miss a beat on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool thing. You can travel with it super easy.
So we're gonna do a baseline testing first. We'll record, what we're testing, explain it in detail.
Yeah.
Show the stats with the accelerometer, and then we'll do there'll be the before. We'll also do a club head speed measurement. You know, like with the ball and without the ball. So we have a radar for no ball, and then with the ball we'll do the GC quad or the hawk.
Yeah.
And then we'll have a starting line, and then we'll check back in 4 weeks. See how that reflects on the suit.
That's
and
it.
then we'll go was like, all right, we'll probably see like
4 times 3, 12. So 12
yeah,
workout sessions.
Yeah.
Over the month.
Yeah.
And we'll see what the effect is on that.
Yeah, and then we'll do a longitudinal study where it's like we'll look at in 3 months, for example, and see how much of an improvement that will look like as well.
Yes,
I'll be happy to be a guinea pig for that.
Ditto.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, this is it.
Just to show the students or show everybody how it works.
I mean, I have 20 minutes 3 times a week.
Right.
I don't have 2 hours 3 times a week though.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
But 20 minutes I got. That I have to. I mean, it's like it's a given.
Yeah.
And to be able to get that kind of a workout in 20 minutes, it's like that's a game changer.
Yeah, it's gold. Yeah,
big time.
Yeah, for sure.
So did we put the link in the latest video?
The link, no, we'll put it in the latest video. Yeah,
okay.
I'll jump on there and add on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the video we have this week, we'll have the link.
Yeah.
We reworked the title on that sucker.
Let me find it.
Yes. So Sav will find that. It's got
video.
Moo on the thumbnail.
Know when to push for power in the golf swing.
That's right.
And you'll see Moo's 3 perfect swings.
Well, 3 perfect swing positions.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't want to say swing positions, but
I know.
screenshots of
exactly. I mean, it's like this is what we do. We say, here's the task. Go ahead and do that. And then we put you on video in a couple of weeks and you'll go, oh, those positions look really good. I guess I'll continue doing my task.
Yeah, that's right.
And so I oftentimes I'll take Cameron Young because you got to show your student what the guys on tour are doing because it's still the reference, right?
Yeah.
And so we show Cameron Young and we see, look at the beautiful squat and the downswing and look at how he's collecting through impact. That right arm is still bent and the legs are still flexed. And then after impact, that's when you see the legs extend and the right arm extend, where everything's extending towards the target. The one that does that to the most is Joaquin Neiman.
Yeah, he's amazing.
But then you see Cameron Young doing it. You see John Rahm doing it. You see Tony Finau doing it. And everyone basically on tour knows how to collect and release into the picture because that's where the money is, towards a target. And lo and behold, you look at that thumbnail that we put together, Sav and I, and you see Moo doing exactly the same thing. And Moo's been doing it for 4 years. And
super athlete.
And he's just cruising in that video. We hit 2 shots. One was a little thin 200-yard 8-iron. Then he flushed a 210-yard 8-iron, and it was just like, meh, whatever.
Yeah.
It was like, there's my feel, there's my direction. It flew right over the flag. I think it was like 6 feet right of the flag, and the flag was at 200 yards, and he just flew 10 yards over.
Yeah.
And it was, and then the video we're talking about how, I wanted to talk about this in our last podcast. When Tiger was asked, he was asked obviously a lot of questions in that last tournament where that he hosts, of course, at Riviera. And during press conference, I was really surprised at how candid he was with, Tiger, you still got some pretty good speed. And he was very reserved. This is, it's like, I don't know how long I can keep this up. Where he says, I can't push off anymore.
Yeah.
And that's something that, you don't want to push off at the beginning of the downswing. You're loading at the beginning of the downswing. You're loading the kinetic chain. And you're pushing off past the ball and towards the target. So that's the main crux of this video. And you don't want to be pushing off with your trail leg. You're pushing off with your lead leg. That's the lead leg that's initiating that kinetic chain. So that's a correction I wanted to bring, and I wanted to make sure there was no misunderstanding about that, with the general public in golf. So public service number 1, I wanted to clear that up. And number 2, he says, another way I generate is through my core. And when I push too hard, it hurts. And I don't want to, exert what's already been overexerted in the past.
Yeah, don't aggravate the back.
It's 3 discectomies. Let's not forget, if you look at the history, there's been 2 discectomies, then a fusion, then a 3rd discectomy after the fusion.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And that's when, we could see that, the painkillers were still kicking in. Mm-hmm. And then he had his accident.
Yeah.
And then, really damaged that right leg in the accident. And so now, his power sources have been significantly compromised, but there's other power sources that he hasn't tapped into yet. And that's what I wanted to talk about in the video. And so you can see that he's not turning enough in the backswing. He could be turning a lot more, like when he's 16 years old, he had a lot more turn in the backswing.
Yeah.
He still was pushing off, but because he had more range of motion, he was able to generate more momentum. And with a young body, he was, very elastic. And that's why he was the longest player on tour for a while. And so I'd love for him to come back to the backswing he had. And instead of pushing off the right side, he would complete the backswing, complete the turn, and understand how the weight shifts from the back foot to the front foot from behind, and then use his healthy lead leg to spring into action and use the full rotational momentum of his body.
Yeah.
So when he has rotational momentum, it takes the strain off his core. So we take the strain off the trail leg, we take the strain off the core, give him back some juice so he can compete, and enjoy the next 4 to 5 years of him competing at the high level again before he gets onto the Champions Tour.
Right.
And really keeps that healthy for a while.
Right.
And I'd like to see him, win 50 tournaments on the Champions Tour in the first 5 years and take care of Halerwin's and Bernard Langer's record.
Right, yeah.
I could see him do that.
Oh, you could destroy that very fast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that healthy lead leg with more rotational momentum, I think we'd have another resurgence of the big cat.
Yeah.
So that's our take, and hopefully, word gets around. So pass it around. If you know one of Tiger's friends, pass it around and tell him, hey, Wisdom in Golf's got a good recipe for you. Let's go. You know? So that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about as far as that's concerned. And so hopefully we'll see him one more time before Augusta National. But he was very weary about, the amount of power that he could generate and the strain that is putting on his body. So
right.
Understandable.
So there you have it, folks. Anything else you guys want to add?
No, not everything.
So
Cover most of the stuff.
Make sure that in our latest video you'll see Moo's website, link.
Yeah.
So Wisdom and Movement.
Yeah. So
It'll be in the description.
Yeah,
WCDMN.
Yeah.
MVMT.com.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to change that.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. It's just difficult to remember, and I've had
It's in the description.
I've had a couple of people advise me. It's like, I understand that you've built a good website, but for accessibility sake,
Okay.
may have to rethink the.
We'll just spell it out the full way.
Spell out the full way.
Sasquatch.com.
Anyways, let's not go into the names right now. We're going to confuse everybody. It's in the description of the video.
Yeah,
it's easy to get to.
Well, we'll sort that out.
We'll sort it out.
In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you next week. All the best.
All the best.
Take care, guys.